Listos. All right. Sports Talk in the Mancave. Here we are once again. We're going to talk a little football, a lot of football, and a little bit of Astros. Okay, so he doesn't want to talk about the Astros because he thinks he's going to jinx them. They're already down 2-1.
They're down 2-1.
So, Charlie, take it away.
They're really not hitting the ball very well. And Philadelphia's hot. 5 home runs yesterday.
That's crazy.
And 7 zip. Philadelphia's playing very good defense. That first game could have been won, but there was a great catch made. The runs didn't come in. And they caught up to them. They lost a 5-run lead.
What's up with Verlander and the pitching? Was the guy tipping his pitches, McCullers, or?
I think he was. They noticed something when he was going to throw a curve. Mm-hmm. They noticed something right away, and that's why I called the guy over and told him, look, if he does this is what he's going to throw at you.
Yeah.
So I think he was. So I'm not sure.
Verlander, yeah, he's over the hill, or?
Verlander's still really good. But normally, when they get on the mound, both McCullers and Verlander, they take 2-3 innings. And after 2-3 innings, they control up to 6 innings.
But the game is usually over after 2-3 innings. What have they been playing?
No, they play 9 all the time.
No, I understand that. But how many bombs did they hit off? They hit off a couple.
No, well, it's just like the first game. The Astros had that 5-run lead, didn't hold up. Then it's baseball. You've seen a game like that.
Yeah.
When the Mets came back on someone.
Well, the NL East is tough. I mean, they had 3 teams in the playoffs. I mean, the 5 champions have come out of the NL East.
They're the hot team.
It's a tough division.
All this postseason, Altuve hasn't really been getting his hits. Jordan had his moments, and in the World Series, he hasn't done much. It's been more the bottom of the lineup that gets the runs.
So, do they need to go back to cheating or not?
Yeah.
What's the deal?
If you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Yeah, I know.
It works. But talk about cheating. I think the Astros need to win this World Series so that they can get rid of that stigma of saying,
they lost last year.
I agree.
It's like, hey, they're a good team. They're a good team, but
they're a good team, but their top players aren't hitting the ball the way they should.
Cheating.
No, they're just not hitting the ball.
Okay.
So what's your prediction?
My prediction is...
Here comes.
Astros in 6.
Oh, wow. 6.
Astros in 6.
I'm going to go with that. Astros in 6.
Book it 7.
7?
I think Phillies will win the next 2 games.
All right, we're going to cut that one. And then we all agreed that the Astros are going to win.
All right. That was just a mumbling.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Good luck to the Astros. And now let's get to some of the top games that the NFL is going to have this week. There's only really 3 games that we looked at that we thought are going to be actually good. The first one would be the Bills versus the Jets. And Carlos, what do you think about this game?
I think the Jets are hot, but I don't think they're good enough to beat the Bills yet. They're a good team, but the Bills are the Bills, and they were up there last year, and I think they're still that team.
Yeah.
So I'm taking the Bills.
The Jets they play hard. I saw them play the other day. They're very well coached. It seems like they're very well coached. The Milk Hunter is doing just enough to get those wins. Zach Wilson, Milk Hunter, aka. Anyways, and then the Bills. I know it's kind of too early, but it seems like Josh Allen is like Aaron Rodgers 2.0, right?
Yeah,
because he's got the arm, and people don't remember that Aaron Rodgers ran 4.7 coming out in the combine, and Josh Allen has some speed, and he's got the gun, and I think that he's on his way. You know what I'm saying? We're not gonna put the cream on yet, but he's on his way. I like the Bills as well.
Yeah,
I'll take the Bills. The Jets were my book it last week. Didn't work out, and. But the Bills, I think, are too tough, too good of a team.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll lose to the Jets.
And I take the Bills as well, and that's that game. Let's go on to the Vikings versus the Commanders. Carlos.
It's going to be a good one. And I'm going to take the Vikings. even though the Commanders are coming out of the best division in football,
Mm-hmm.
I'm still taking the Vikings.
For me, it's another hunch bet. Like last week, I did a hunch bet last week. I took Denver
Mm-hmm.
last week, but that was my book it.
Yeah.
I know I also had book it, but we'll talk about that later. Anyways, so yeah, no, I like the Commanders in a hunch game, just because I think Kirk Cousins is due for a bad game. He's
Kirk Cousins.
He's
Kirk
Kirk
Cousins.
Cousins, exactly.
Golden arm.
See, they're
Except after
6-1. They're
Browns.
6-1, and there's always those games that you don't think that they're gonna get upset. This is the game I feel they're gonna get upset. I like the Commanders this week.
Yeah, the Commanders have been improving. The Commanders have been getting better, but the Vikings always find a way to win these close games. They've been most of their games have been close, and they find a way to come through and score.
When
And
you have a great leader like Kirk Cousins,
And this is
things like that happen.
Yeah, this is a bit of a homecoming. I think
Yeah.
he'll mess up playing in his former the team that kind of gave up on him, right? The Commanders.
Yeah.
So I think that also is gonna play a factor in the Vikings losing.
Well, it's looking a lot like the Vikings have it this year. It seems like it's their year. They're winning these games that are close. Kirk Cousins is playing good. I think that I agree with you that I think he's maybe not going to have a bad game, but
Yeah.
I think the Commanders are actually coming on, and they're winning some close games as well. And I think they're going to take this one.
So you won't be hearing him say, "You like that?" No.
Yeah, I think I'm going to
That's
go
the
with
saying,
the
right? You
Commanders.
like that?
Yeah,
So,
that's right. All right, last game. Titans and Chiefs. That is going to be maybe a very good game. Very close.
I'm taking the Chiefs. I can't bet against the best quarterback in football, so I'm
Dak?
taking the Chiefs.
Cooper Rush.
No, I can't bet against the Chiefs. Can't bet against Mahomes, so I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't think it's a no-brainer for me. And the Chiefs added another receiver, I think, to there. They got the guy from the Giants, Tommy. Yeah. So they bolstered that lineup. Those speedsters already even more, and they're playing the Titans, whom I've never liked Tannehill at all, and now without AJ Brown, even worse. So I think that I think they have more problems coming into this game than people think.
well, the only way the Titans could possibly win it is ground control the clock, and they do have a good running back.
Yes, you do.
And a great running back. And I think that they could run on them. But the problem's going to be stopping the Chiefs. And I don't think that they can stop them. So
So
I'm going with the
with the
Chiefs.
Titans.
You're doing the Chiefs.
I'm going with the Chiefs.
All right. Well, I kind of think that there is going to be a lot of ball control. I think the Titans are going to play really good. I think Derrick Henry is going to get me 50 points.
Oh, that's why.
That's why
There we
you
go.
And so I see the Titans pulling this one out in an upset. I'm not going to say book it, but, it's close. But we'll see how it goes. So I'll go with the Titans.
It's a semi-book it.
It's a semi-book it.
So you are going to go with the Titans.
I'm going with the Titans. Yes, I think they'll take it. Now let's talk about bookets. Let's do our picks. We all picked our bookets already. Carlos, do you want to start with yours?
Last week I hit my bucket. Last week it was the Ravens over Tampa Bay, and I hit it. This week it's a little tougher, but I'm gonna take the Jaguars to beat the Raiders. I think they're 1.5 point underdogs, so I'm taking the Jaguars to beat the Raiders. Book it.
All right. I'm gonna go.
That was emphasis.
Yeah. Last week I didn't hit my bucket. One of the few that I haven't nailed this year.
So you didn't nail it?
I didn't nail it.
Wow.
No, it was an air ball.
How sad.
So I know that and I'm not a Lions fan at all. I just like the matchup. Okay, so don't quote me that the Lions are good. So last week I took them and they lost they lost by a half point. The spread versus the Dolphins. I promised my boy Felix Gonzalez. He told me never to bet on his team again. Sorry about that, Felix. It won't happen again. Anyways, so I had to give him a shout out on that one. I promised them. So this week I like the Lions again. Finally, I think that this time that they'll get over that hump. They're gonna play at home. They're playing Green Bay, who's struggling, and it just seems like that organization is just kind of giving up. They're gonna tank. It just seems that way. They didn't make any moves in the trade deadline. Aaron Rodgers is just getting pissed, even more and more, disappointed, and he doesn't have any more energy. He doesn't have that mojo back anymore this year. So I like the Lions at home to cover the spread. Okay.
So take the Lions. Okay.
I like that. Okay.
The Seahawks are 2.5 point underdogs against Arizona Cardinals, and I think the Seahawks. No, I know the Seahawks are gonna beat them. So that's my book. It's Seahawks over Arizona. Book it.
Again, this is not betting advice.
No.
This is not betting advice.
This is just for entertainment
Definitely
purposes
not,
only.
definitely not financial advice. Yeah.
All right. So Ravens, they're plus they're favored, aren't they? 2.5.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Ravens to cover. Book that.
Okay.
All right, guys. I think that's good as far as a book. It's now. I wanted to discuss something because the Cowboys have been playing really good, and sometimes they play better without some of their star players. Which we've seen, especially without Elliott this last game. Pollard played really good. Who do you think is better, Pollard or Elliott at this point in their careers?
I think Pollard has passed him up already. When you watch him run, you could see more athleticism, more speed. He gets away from people, and when you watch Zeke run, you see north-south runner, but he can't get away from people. I mean, once in a while he'll still show his explosiveness, but Pollard hits every single time he gets the ball. Mm-hmm. And I think he's more dangerous, and I think he's better at this time.
Yeah, no, I agree, but it's kind of tough to kind of compare them. Pollard is a home run hitter, he's a home run hitter, and I think he should be used 15 carries a game, 12 to 15 carries a game, couple of screen passes, a couple of those pitches that they do to him, those little gadget pitches. Zeke, he's not the same person, running back, but what he can do is block. He's a good blocker. He picks up the blitz. There's been times where Pollard has been in the game, and that's backfired on us because he's on there and he misses it. So and he's gonna get our star franchise quarterback injured. What are we gonna do?
He's on the bench right now.
What are we gonna do without the MVP in the game? So
he always tends to go to the middle of the line when he has to block, and he doesn't look at the edge.
No, he doesn't. So it's a good. They work well together. It's a good 1-2 punch. I think that Zeke is playing for a contract somewhere else next year. Who knows now with Jerry Jones making all these mistakes? Somebody's going to pay Pollard. Should we? I don't know, because there's so many college running backs out there that we can get in the second, third, fourth round. Yeah. So I don't even know if it's worth to pay these running backs so much money because of the longevity and they're not lasting. It's been showing. Everybody who gets a contract, right after they get that contract, they don't do anything. Look at Todd Gurley, Le'Veon Bell, Zeke. Every single time they get paid, the numbers decline.
Yeah, and that's so true now. But I remember the days Emmitt Smith, he would play every down. Mm-hmm. He would play every down, and he had a great line, but he did great most of his years till he got traded off to Arizona.
Right.
And that's because he had already started showing some decline. But backs used to be every down. Now they're getting hurt and nicked and bruised and they don't come in.
I think it's a combination of the players getting bigger, stronger, and faster. And so these head problems, the head trauma, the CTE, there's no more Walter Paytons out there. There's no more, Emmitt Smiths are going to be grinded out for 12, 13 years. Those days are over.
Yeah, but I do think that both of them are good for the team. And like Gilbert said, the 1-2 punch. Zeke runs strong. And he'll get some carries, 7-10 yards. But Pollard, he gets the 15-20s, the long run, I like Pollard. I rather have home run.
I prefer to have Pollard in there also.
Like the Phillies.
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing back the Phillies. Yeah, I mean, I really don't think that any of those guys are going to be there next year. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're going to pay them. I think they're going to draft some running backs. I know that's probably what you're thinking. Are you thinking the same or?
Yeah, you can find these rookies are coming in now and they're already ready to go the running back position.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think they're using Turpin enough in the offense. I think that they should be using him.
I think they'll break him if they put him in there.
Yeah, he's tiny, man.
Yeah,
I
but
can't use him too much.
Yeah, but every week it seems like they're throwing in something for him.
they're putting in a little something,
Yeah.
a little something. Maybe they're trying to work him in, but they have to find a way to work him in. That guy, if he hits a hole, I mean, his speed, he picks up speed like that.
One more thing I want to bring up, and I want to ask you guys. Well, what do you think, guys? Did we failed not getting anybody in the trade deadline? I know that at the end, I was listening to a show today, and they said at the very end we were going to get the guy Brandon Cooks, and at the very end, Jerry Jones backed out. I mean, I don't. Everybody got better. The Eagles, they traded for like 2 guys. You know, everybody they're going for it. Just like the Rams did, they're going for it. I don't see us with that sense of urgency.
The week before, we got a defensive lineman.
Yeah.
So, okay, our defensive line is good, but we can't afford to get 1 or 2 guys injured and not have somebody there. So, in a sense, we kind of pick somebody up before a trade deadline, but I think I don't know. I don't know if a receiver would have made us better.
Yeah, I mean, we could have gotten Roquan Smith. I think that would have been better for us. We would have outbid the Ravens. But, I mean, every time we've gone for the real home run, I mean, well, I'm talking about back in the night when Charles Haley, that one was I mean, led us to a Super Bowl. The other person was Dion. Dion is the Super Bowl. There's some guys out there that were available. I think that might have been able to put us over the hump, but I don't think that, you know, we didn't make that effort, that splash.
I think the Cowboys are just comfortable with their defense, and they're comfortable with their offense, what they're showing right now.
Because so they got the run stopper, and then they had the highest rushing total of the year after we got him. So how good was he?
I don't know.
They didn't get 300.
Yeah, you know, the only problem that I see, our receivers can't really get spacing between them and their defender most of the time. If the defense is like, and other teams, even us, every once in a while, there's a guy wide open, or you see Diggs making a spectacular play, catching up and tapping a ball, but their quarterbacks get to see open receivers. Dak has been having to put the ball in very tight spots, and so maybe we could have gotten better with a receiver that could really run routes right. Cooper had a great game
It's your show.
Is there something going on right now?
No,
with airplanes?
no.
I heard there's more airplanes flying around here at night. No.
Vegas.
Everybody's going to Vegas.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Hey, quick, Frank Reich, coach, the Colts. People want to think that he's ready to get fired already. What do you think?
I think everybody's waiting for the Sean Payton sweepstakes. Everybody's waiting for him.
Is he wanting to come back?
Oh yeah, but right now nobody's gonna go for him right now because they're gonna want compensation. So they're waiting for the contract to run out. So and that's kind of bittersweet for the Cowboys because, you know what, I want him to win a Super Bowl, but I want him to change McCarthy. So it's kind of like, you know. So if we get to the Super Bowl and we don't win it, will we fire him and get Sean Payton? I don't think so.
No. If they get to the Super Bowl, they'll keep him.
Yeah.
If they don't, if they lose in the first round, maybe they'll fire McCarthy. But I mean, is he really to blame?
Yeah. I think so. I think so because the team doesn't have any discipline. We have penalties year in and year out, and that a lot has to do with coaching.
They were better this.
They've been better this year.
They've been better. They've been getting better. They started off bad. But I think
we're still getting into those holes. I know the third down conversion this week was, awesome. We missed two third down conversion, but there was a couple of times where we were for first and 15 again.
We only had 5 possessions in the first half. The Cowboys 5 possessions, 4 touchdowns. That interception towards the end of and then came back in the second half and scored more touchdowns. Even
so
the
should
defense.
we give all the credit to Dak or just a little bit?
He made the throws.
No,
Well, and they didn't drop the ball either. Okay.
Yeah.
No, they played good. Dak played very good.
He did. He did all right.
He did
But
good.
He did his job.
We
But
had
it is
trouble,
Johnny
like with,
Manziel.
remember I said with Justin Fields, he ran all over us. He converted his own third downs and longs.
Yeah.
He had for a while there in
Yeah.
the game.
But,
He
you
was
know,
our
He's
leading
getting
rusher.
better. I've always been a fan of
If
Justin Fields.
Dak has Pollard in there running the way they're doing, and if Zeke does the same thing, yeah, they're going to be successful, and he's going to be more successful for sure. You know,
I mean, we scored how many points? 49
49
points. It's-
and I
mean-
think our offensive line is just better than what we think.
Right, and I think that we're going into the bye week at the perfect time because we have some injuries here and there, and then that's another injury. That's another week for Tyrone Smith to come back.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
That's true.
He should be coming
Yeah.
back early December,
2024.
I don't know. I have no idea.
and then exiting early January.
2025.
Uh,
He's always hurt. Poor guy, man. It's a rough sport, but what do you do? We like it.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah.
Any other comments on any other?
I don't know.
Major things, man?
Jake Paul? No, I'm kidding. No. Nobody wants to talk about Jake Paul.
No, Jake Paul.
Lakers.
The Lakers. The Lakers.
Lakers.
They're about to take off.
It's just sputtered for the
No.
first 5 games.
Not even.
No.
No, they're 1-5.
Spurs are doing good though, right?
Yeah.
Spurs are doing good.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
what about the anti-Semitism? Did y'all hear about that? The
I heard
Kyrie
something about Kyrie, and then some people were sitting front row with
anti-Semitism shirts.
Yeah.
Oh, fight it or something like that. Yeah. So Kyrie Irving, he came out and he all he did was post a movie that had Semitism right in the movie, and he got criticized for it. I think he's trying to get traded. I think he's doing whatever it takes for him. The owner is Jewish. So he's gonna do something that's offensive to the owner, so that they can get rid of
I
him.
didn't know
He
the
wants
Nets owner
yes,
is Jewish.
Yes.
Oh my god.
So he wants to. I mean, the guy clearly wants. He's been trying to be a Laker since the season started. They didn't give in to his demands. Kevin Durant wanted to get traded too. They're too good of a team to be this bad. You know, I think they're trying to say, you know what? They're playing offense, but they're not playing any defense. They want to get traded, and they want to they're just doing it subtle, so that so people they're doing it in a way to where they just won't play defense, so they're losing every single game.
So would you
Yeah.
want an athlete like
Money
that on your
corrupts,
team?
man.
Yeah.
Those-
Would you
Yeah.
want an athlete like that on your team?
Well, LeBron does.
But something goes wrong, and you just I'm not going to play my best, and hell no.
That's awful.
LeBron's
You know,
friend.
it doesn't matter. What if he does want to be a Laker, and then they piss him off there? Is he gonna do the same thing?
LeBron doesn't think about that. LeBron thinks that won't happen.
Yeah, you're a Laker.
I control him.
Yeah, you're a Laker.
Because I don't know what's happening. But
Wear that jersey.
AD hasn't played like an AD.
The thing is,
LeBron, you know.
Kyrie Irving
I wouldn't
his
hire him
idol
like
is,
that.
I wouldn't hire him.
Kobe Bryant, and he's been wanting to be a Laker to kind of take the mantle. I think in his view, but I mean it's still early. We're all in football mode right now,
True.
So I guess
True.
we'll talk after
Yeah.
All-Star
Well,
break.
I'm in baseball, basketball,
We'll talk
and
after
football
All-Star break
mode.
about it, maybe.
I'm on sports mode.
You're retired.
So,
mode.
mira,
That's
even my Crocs are in sports mode.
Nice. What does that mean exactly?
You put this back here.
Ready to
Ah,
Boom,
got
now I
it.
can
Ready
run.
to go. Got it. All right, guys. Hey, thank you very much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Have a great week, guys.
All right.
Take
Have a
care.
good one.